welcome to another episode of Ghana's in Africa podcast. Thank you for being here. If you haven't done it, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's the big game weekend. Arsenal travel away to Liverpool, where we have always struggled at Anfield. I think we haven't won a game since the 2012 12-13 season. Remember the team then? We had the likes of Arteta, Mikel Arteta, with Abu Dhabi in midfield as well. He dominated that game. I remember that game for his performance. And everyone was talking about, it's going to be a big season for Abu Dhabi, but he got injured again. Santi Cazorla had a great game as well. I think he provided an assist or he scored a goal as well. Lucas Podolski as well. It was a great game. I think we won 3-2 if I'm not mistaken. It was a great game. We've had some great games there, some draws, but we struggled to find a W. I think last season we came from behind to draw 2-2 against them. I hope this time around we can get a win. And looking forward to the game. On today's podcast, we'll look into what's happening in the news. So much is going on. The Champions League draw take place this week as well. Some interesting ties there. And then we'll look at the game, a proper preview on the game, where we'll talk about Liverpool, and then we'll talk about it, Arsenal and the team, and some of the missing players as well. So we start with the news happening this week in transfers. The first news would be the sad news about Kai Havertz. So they decided to do a surgery, so he's going to be missing. Mikel confirmed for a few weeks, which is encouraging. Bukayo as well. He doesn't need a surgery on his hamstring, so he's a hamstring injury, so he's going to be out for a few weeks as well. I think the international break is going to help in terms of the amount of games he's going to be missing. And then Ødegaard is still missing as well. And then Martin Ødegaard, he didn't confirm, he just mentioned that he hasn't trained yet this week. So he might train tomorrow, which is Saturday, and he could be available, but I don't think he will take that risk because he has the players for that role. And then in transfers, there's been heavy links to Piero Hincapié from Leverkusen, Ecuadorian, play centre back, he can play left back as well. It's a loan in an obligation to buy. Him as a player, I haven't watched much of him. What I've seen of him is quite front-footed as a defender. He plays on the left side of defense. He can play as a fullback as well. I think what I've seen is his one-on-one defending is really, really good, I think. And then in terms of the type of left backs we have already, which is Calafiori and Miles, is quite different to them. So with Calafiori and Miles, they can invert and play more centrally. And then they are good in attacking areas. He's also very good because what's different about him is just he's a very attacking fullback, which is going to be more wide defender than an inverting defender, who is a good crosser of the ball as well. He's good in the box. His defending is very good one-on-one. Quite similar to Timber on his one-on-one defending. He bites. So he sticks to his opponent, and he's always on his heels. So hopefully we get him through. I think that's probably the last signing that we could make in this transfer window. And then in the outs, there's quite big news on Jakub Kiwior. That Hincapié transfer, Hincapié, I'll get just it. Transfer is linked to Jakub Kiwior going to Porto. So if Arsenal sign Hincapié, then they will sanction the Jakub Kiwior deal to Porto. So I think it's an opportunity for Arsenal to sell him. I think he's He played well when Gabriel was missing last season. Towards the end of the season, his run in the Champions League was very, very good. I think there's an opportunity that us now, we don't normally sell our players when they're hot and sort of could command a great fee. Yeah, hopefully, good luck to him. I think he's been a guy who just does his work, trains well, doesn't play on most week, but when he's given an opportunity and run the team, he's proven that he's a capable defender. Good luck to him at Porto. And then Zinchenko has been linked to Marseille. It's news that came in on Friday for me. Um, Apparently, the issue there might be wages, his high wages. Hopefully, they find something so he can go and play as well. Um, Stuttgart are interested in Fabio Vieira. They might be boosted by Newcastle signing Nick Woltemade. I think more than £70 million. I think it's a good opportunity for him, Vieira, to go as well. I don't think he had issues from the start, injuries and a struggle, and then went away. Didn't sell the world alight at Porto, but yeah, I think we can get a good fee for him, and then Reece Nelson was linked mainly to Fulham, but this week he's been linked to Crystal Palace, who are looking for players as well, especially that they sold Eberechi Eze, and an experienced player in the Premier League like Reece Nelson could add something to Palace. Some players as well, Sambeli Konga probably, I don't know what's happening in because he extended his contract. No one is coming for him, and is coming for him to sign him. Probably gets an opportunity to go as well. Yeah, and then going to the Champions League draw, some interesting teams. I think we've drawn Bayern. We've played Bayern many, many times in the Champions League. Inter, we played them in the Champions League group stage last season as well. I think that was a turn of our season when we started getting confidence in terms of how we play. We can go away from home and dominate the opposition, but we didn't win the game. We lost on a dodgy penalty. We had a good game there. And then Atletico Madrid, good tie. That will be. And then we got Club Brugge, Belgian team, Olympiacos. Always meet Olympiacos. I think we've played 6 times. No, we played 6 times against them, either Champions League or Europa League. Play Slavia Prague, Athletic Bilbao, which we play in the preseason. Emirates, I think it's the Emirates Cup, yeah. And then the newbies is Kairat Almaty of Kazakhstan, who will be playing as well. So let me just check who the fixtures in terms of where we play them. We play Bayern at home, so we'll be good. And then we play away at Inter at San Siro. And then we play Atletico. Where do we play them? Let me check the fixtures again. Yeah, we've got Bayern at home, Atletico at home, Olympiacos at home, and then Kairat at Emirates as well. And then the away games are San Siro against Milan. Then we go to Bruges, and then we go to Prague and Bilbao. So the fixtures will come over the weekend in terms of the confirmation on Saturday. So hopefully they are not they are favoring us not around big games, so we can have some great results as well. So yeah, I think we're gonna do well with the squad that we have. We should be doing well in the Champions League again this season. I think it should be easily go to the next round, especially that the biggest games we don't have to travel far, especially to Azerbaijan team that we're playing. So we go to Italy, Belgium, Greece, Czechia or Czech Republic, and then we go to Spain. So yeah, man, those are good trips for fans who'll be traveling. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a great season in the Champions League. And then to the main game, I think the biggest game this weekend in the Premier League, Liverpool away. It's always an entertaining game when we go to Anfield. There's lots of goals, usual. And as mentioned before, we drew 2-2 the last season. They've already played Bournemouth at home. They won 4-2. There's lots of goals. There's always great energy to watch a game at Anfield. So yeah, I think this season there's been a lot of talk about their defense. Understandably, they are quite short in numbers as well. A lot of talk about Konate struggling because there's a lot of talk that he hasn't signed an extension at Liverpool is pushing it back. So yeah, man. And then I know they were Jeremy Frimpong, one of their new signings, got injured, and they've played Dominic Szoboszlai at right back. I watched the game against Newcastle. I think he was one of their standout players because he played well. And I saw Conor Bradley came in as a sub as well. He just came back from injury, so they'll have to decide. But for Szoboszlai as well, I think because teams don't expect him to be starting at right back, especially Newcastle. They probably didn't expect him to start at right back, but I think Arsenal and other teams will have a plan because they will have a better plan for him going forward. So they will be expecting him to play, and they will study how he plays at right back. So they'll put plans into place going into the game. I watched their game against Newcastle. I think how I sort of watched Newcastle, usually Newcastle, the first 10, 15 minutes, they will push, push, push. It's all about staying in the game, don't concede anything. And then Liverpool, like for 2 minutes before the goal, they started just keeping the ball and moving it about. And then Gravenberch scored. And then Newcastle were in the back foot and they got a red card. But they started pushing again. And in the second half, Hugo Ekitike, who started very well. I think he's 3 goals in the last 3 games. If you count the Community Shield, he started well his career at Liverpool. Mohamed Salah is always a threat to any team, although he hasn't set the world alight yet in the Premier League, but I think he's always a threat to any team. So, meaning that teams need to be aware, they need to have a plan and strategy to stop him. So, that's always a thing. They've been sort of chopping and changing midfield. I think McAllister has been missing a bit. Usually a regular in the team. And in defense, as mentioned, Konate hasn't been great. And as when I will be talking about Arsenal, and I'll mention Konate, especially towards the right hand side. Van Dijk, not as colossal as he usually is because they've conceded a lot of goals, and Kekes as well, who hasn't been that great as well. Especially, usually he's a really attacking fullback, and defense has been struggling a bit. Yeah, man, they'll look Liverpool will always improve. They will always get better. They'll probably sign a defender. I think they are short in defense in terms of numbers going to the season. They'll probably get the Isaac deal done before Monday. But yeah, man, I think Arne Slot was talking a lot about set pieces this week, especially after the Newcastle game. So you're playing a team that will be really making you pay on set pieces. So, but I hate the notion that Arsenal is just set piece FC. They don't do anything. Arsenal put a lot of pressure on teams to concede set pieces. We do a lot of great work before that, and we're gonna score a lot of goals. And especially that we're configuring how we play in attacking wise, the unpredictability as well with the numbers that we have in attack and the different type of players that we have. Yeah. Going to Arsenal, as mentioned, we'll be missing a few key players in Saka, Havertz, maybe Ødegaard as well. Not mentioned on Ben White, but I think we have a big enough squad and sufficient enough cover for those players. Madueke, Eze, and Nwaneri. I think I was impressed with Mosquera playing it right back to cover Timber. Yeah. I was impressed talking about Ethan when I was impressed when he came on as a sub against Leeds. I think usually Ethan is always attacking. What I love about him is more direct. What I love in this game specifically, he was more central. He was willing to go deep to pick up the ball, pass as well. And then when he needed to carry the ball forward, he could carry the ball forward, which is really good for him. It's a good learning as well. And we didn't miss Ødegaard much in that game, although Ødegaard is the key man in terms of our tactical approach and how we trigger in terms of our press. And then when we have to manage the game, he's the key player in there. But I think Ethan will be learning, and that is a different player. We can't expect the same as what Ødegaard will do. We can expect a different game from him. He's also a bigger threat in terms of goals, Ethan. So yeah, I think that, and then I think Mikiri will have a lot of decisions to make this. But in the overarching thing will be more try not to make a lot of changes from the team, because the options that we have, especially in Madueke, Eze, and adding then Gyökeres and Zubimendi, so there's quite new players in the team, so you wouldn't want to make a lot of changes. So in terms of the lineup, and especially there's quite a, if Odegaard is fit, then it's less changes. You could have Eze on the left, and Madueke on the right. But Martinelli, who didn't play last week, usually plays in this game. He usually scores at Anfield, and he always plays well against Liverpool. But Trent is not there anymore, so he usually has a great game against Trent. But I think I have a feeling that he will go with Martinelli on the left, and especially now, like as mentioned, the Konate factor. Usually, when Trent was there, I know before that they used to do the Jordan Henderson covering Trent, the right back. Every time he goes forward, it used to be that creative spark for them, Trent, and then he will leave that space at right back, and then Jordan Henderson will be doing that. In the past few seasons, I think Klopp started that, and then Konate will be the one who covers the fullback, the right back, and with him lacking confidence, it will be a factor for us. Especially that we have a number 9. It's a different. We will be attacking differently, especially if we play Martin. It doesn't matter who we play, either Eze or Martinelli. He will be a threat in that left hand side, especially if it's either. It doesn't matter if it's Conor Bradley or Szoboszlai who plays. I think that channel there on the left, especially with the threat of Rice on that side as well. Calafiori as well. Oh God, if he starts, he's always around the top of the box. He's always there. So I think it's an opportunity for us now to exploit that area with Konate lacking confidence and Szoboszlai, who hasn't been really tested as a right back if he plays ahead of Conor Bradley. I think for me personally, I'll have Martinelli playing there, especially if Ødegaard is missing. And then the other positions, the left back, I don't think it's much of a debate now. I think, but other people would. I think Calafiori for me plays to give him confidence as well, playing in that position, especially that we have Rice and Zubimendi playing as a double pivot. So I'll have Rice covering that, especially when he has to go forward, Calafiori. But the other option that Mikel has is playing Timber at left back, and does he have confidence enough to play in Mosquera at right back, who has been coming on? I know Mosquera has great recovery pace to play on the fullback at Anfield, but do you wanna give him his first start at Anfield? It's quite a different place. He'll probably play against Cody Gakpo there. Wasn't good for him as well. Or Ben White if he's available. Are you confident enough? Ben White who's had the up and down season so far because of an injury. But I mean, I think I'll stick with Timber on the right and Calafiori on the left. And then the other decision to make is Nwaneri Eze, especially if Ødegaard is not available. So for me, there's a lot of clamor that you play a big player, man. Eze is a big player, but you don't want to make a lot of changes in the team. So it's a difficult one. Let me think about it. Yeah, I think. Do you trust? Do you, it's quite difficult. Do you trust Nwaneri to perform there, or do you go with an experienced player? But that means that you could struggle in terms of not understanding what Eze would do. Is he ready to play? Not because of how good he is, but in terms of the team structure, defending wise, how we press. Is he ready to do that, to play? I was would be happy with him starting in the left wing if Odegaard was available. But I'll start with Ethan Oneri, giving he's different as well. I'll start with Ethan in there. Um, yeah, man. But there's so many options. Like for Mikel in this team, like you could pick different versions of how he starts the team in the attacking players. You can pick differently, or does he go with three midfielders in terms of you can Zubimendi, Rice, and Merino? You can go with that as well. It's different, or you can have a 10. But I feel like if you play that with Merino, it sends a different message. It could send a different message that we are respecting them too much. Batman, and then again, that could be a factor in terms of going forward with Mikel Merino's ability in the last third and in the box, his threat in finishing. He's already scored twice against Liverpool. I think, yeah, he scored at the home game last season and he scored the away game at Anfield last season, so in the 2-2. So, yeah, look, these are the options Mikel has. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions to select a team with so many options that Mikel has. Um, in terms of my team, let me like it's just what I think would happen. It's not. Um, it's just my predictions, so it's not set in stone. But I think that I would go with will be Raya, Timber on the right, Calafiori on the left, Salib and Gabriel obviously, double pivot of Eze and in Rice, and then I'll have Ethan in the middle. I'll have Martinelli on the left, Madueke on the right, and I'll have Victor Gyökeres up front. I think we have a strong bench already. To look at it, we would have Kepa, Mosquera, Rice if he's available, White if he's available, um, Miles Lewis Kelly, defensive option, and then midfield option, Mikel Merino, who else is there? Eberechi Eze, um, and then you have the wide players of Trossard, uh, Max Dowman will be there as a as a as an option as well. Do you play him or what? Because so many players, man. Some of them you forget about them, but we have a good squad. We built a good squad. I think tactically, Mikel, like if you go to play in Anfield, you don't give them spaces to run to. Um, Especially when you have set pieces, you don't give them an opportunity to run. Don't give them spaces to run. We've suffered so many goals at Anfield when you have a corner and they run and score on a break on our half. I think we might need to take control of the ball, not don't make it a basketball game, but also punish them when we break. I think Madueke versus Case on that side. I think I watched him last season against Bournemouth tear him apart. Um, Madueke tear him apart at Stamford Bridge against Bournemouth last season. So, and what he showed us last week when he went over to when Saka was substituted, when he went over to the right, he's so confident, he's quick, and he's a threat. He can turn left and right as well. So his speed will help us as well. And the only worries defensively will be able to cover Yuri and Timber on the right. Then I left Martinelli as a given. I will have Martinelli running it, Szoboszlai and Konate on that left hand side with Calafiori playing in and just roaming around. Let him roam, let him get to midfield, let him get in attacking areas, put Rice on that left-hand side, covering for him. And Gabriel is quite fitter now. And then Zubimendi, I think he will get a lot of boost there because he was close to signing for them last season. But yeah, man, I think we can go there and beat them, especially they are suspect defensively. They are struggling. I think they'll lack confidence. I think we can make the corners an event. Every time we get a corner, I think we can make it a big event. Make them think about it. Especially, yeah, I think Ethan taking corners on the left. I think he would be the one taking corners from the left foot side if he plays, and then Declan Rice will play right. Even if Declan Rice takes on the side, it's a new thing that we can bring in that we've probably trained this week for this game. While we prepare for this game, I think, yeah, we can get a 3-1 win there. A good game again. Want to see how Victor Gyökeres goes up against Van Dijk and Konate. Probably because he likes to run into the left-hand channel. It's an opportunity to drag Konate to that channel. And also with Martin Lille on that side as well, dabbling up, we can get a lot of opportunities. Thank you for watching this episode. Please like and subscribe to our channel. And thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Come on, you Gunners.